I've got a meeting set up with you today at 11.
11 o'clock? Okay.
Yes.
Hey, George, just wanted, now I can speak because I'm a little more awake. Thanks for the call last night. I did get my volume put in, but I was so tired. I didn't get Dr. Josh in, but that's okay.
Yeah, you're
So
good.
I'll cycle next week, but I'm okay. I'm glad you called me and
Yeah. Well, you already have about 3 or 4 cycles yesterday. This would be new cycles.
oh, okay. I'll
Yeah,
take it.
you didn't know. Okay. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
That is nice. It's nice to know when you're gonna receive an email saying that you get paid on Friday.
Well, all I can say is thanks for you and Adrian just for nudging me, even though it's hard with 6 hours difference or whatever from you guys.
Well, but very soon we are going to see you at the same time. We are going to be in the same time zone, in the same, not only the same time zone, the same zip code.
Next week.
Okay, perfect. Anybody else wants to share anything or anything about this week, this past week? Okay, all right. Let me see. Okay, all right. Well, super excited. We have an amazing week. Especially, I was mentioning to another group. It's interesting. The last day, I mean, was going crazy. Started crazy, and then the last 4 or 5 hours, holy cow! And somebody was commenting to me. She said, "You know what? I wish I have put that craziness last week on Friday when the packages were announced. But that's the way that we humans sometimes work. We have that threats, and then our parasympathetic system, I think it's called, jumps in, and we start going into action. It's when we have a deadline. See, it's like I don't know how many of you, when you were in high school or college, you have an important test, and suddenly the prior day or 2 days is when you were going crazy, studying, getting into the books, etc. And it seems that that's the way that we are. As a matter of fact, for a while, I couldn't even smell coffee because when I was in college, we have a test, and I drank so much coffee that I got sick on my stomach, and I couldn't go to the test. Imagine, I got so sick because we were drinking pure black South American coffee by the tons. But anyway, that's why. Anyway, it's important, and that's basically today. I just want to talk about that right now. Okay, we got this past week. We had the power up packages done. I don't think we are going to see them again. Some people think that maybe in a year, but I had the feeling that this is the last time we see the power up packages. And right now we have a very powerful tool. That's another promotion that the company is leaving us. That is the Power 3. In my opinion, that's what is going to create your organic. And now that you have, for those of you that have one strong leg because the Power Up package or because where you are, it's the time to start going for that Power of 3. A lot of people qualify in the last conference that call that the company has. We have much more qualified, 4 times more than the first time that they announced it. That means that people are starting to cash out with the Power of 3, the power of that promotion. And it's so important that right now, and we have probably about 12 weeks from here to convention. Last week was 13 weeks. Yeah, 13 weeks. 12 weeks is the time to start going into action on that part. And that doesn't mean that you have not been in action, because yesterday there were a lot of people in action, Saturday, a lot of people in action. And like I said, we didn't go to bed until super late now because 1 o'clock in the morning, our time is when the company closed. I didn't even close, and still we were on the phone, at least for an hour and a half with many people. And this morning, Adrianne's on the phone with somebody since 7:30. And we are going to be announcing, or the companies, probably tomorrow, I'm going to be announcing the different ranks, because it went so crazy and fabulous that some of the ranks are not totally set up on the back office. And some of them are already, but I prefer not to announce until for sure it's confirmed by the company. But we have in our team, and I'm sure in other teams too, several 3-star, 3-star pro, 3-star elite, 4-star ranks, advancements. some of them was surprising even for the person that got to surprise. And I think that somebody maxed out also their position here in our team. Somebody that is in our team that still we have to check this for sure because, and well, thanks for an explosion that she didn't expect it. That was I mean, she knew it was going to go crazy, but that exploded more than they thought. But we will know more tomorrow when everything is official, or probably later. But we have a great week. All the teams did great. I just want to congratulate everybody. And right now we are in the freeways guiding us to the convention. It's time to start cashing up in those extra points that you have waiting for you, for those of you that have points. And if you are not because you are too new or etc., it's time to start building that. I had the feeling convention is going to beginning of the possible momentum this next year. I think Kimwe was talking about going to momentum next year, but the way that the volumes have exploded in the last 3 weeks, it seems that we are getting closer to than we think to that momentum stage. In order to participate and to be successful, is for us to be part of that momentum, we have to make sure that we are going into momentum as an individual and then as a team. Even if you're brand new right now, say, what the heck is momentum? Momentum is when you go excited, start working with your team leader, your upline, and then you bring your first two or the first two plus one. Remember, we talked about that. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go a little on the slides. I want to show that part. And I show this part, I'm gonna show it a lot because this is the daily method of operation. During the next, I don't know, 20 years in the company. And make sure, name list. Today, if you have done it already, great. If you don't, make sure you go through a named list because we are going to start connecting with people. And the named list include not only people that we don't have in the team, but even people that you have talked in the past. Follow-up is so important because this is the DMO. It's very simple. You connect with that list, you present, you follow up. And when you follow up, it's when the person come in or they say no, not yet, etc. But even if they say no, for me, stay a circle. You keep following up with people. Very important to keep this in mind. Now, some people say, well, I don't have enough time. Okay, what is the time that you have? Even if it's you are going to have, let's suppose, whatever time you have, the way that you do this is in the pockets of your life, or you set up even a time. For example, one of our team leaders that he just joined like 2 months ago already. What he does is he takes 15 minutes of the hour to prospect. 15 minutes of the hour. I mean, they start, let's suppose, at 9 o'clock, then they have 15 minutes that he's prospecting, and 10 o'clock, 15 minutes again, prospecting until he completes his goal of how many people he's connecting every day. And he goes through over 20 or 30 people doing that. And it's only like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Very simple. Because the purpose of the connection is to send people to a tool. It's very simple. And we have to make sure that we are doing this on a daily basis. We plan our data around that. You don't have to take 8 hours a day to prospect. I know there are some people that teach saying, okay, you have to connect, work for 8 hours a day prospecting. You don't. If you organize right, in 1 or 2 hours, you are going to prospect enough people. But you start with one. After you do the first person, go to the next one. Because you're going to notice as soon as you do one, you say, okay, it was not as bad, I'm going to do a second one. And even if you have a bad experience, the first connection, say, I don't want to talk to you ever in my life. It's still okay. Well, let's find somebody that's not going to give me a stomach ache. Next one. And that's why it's so important. Start with just one. Now, for those of you that are used to that, for 1, for 2, for 3, for 100, perfect. But start with one. Now, let me go again to the next slide. Excuse me. All right. Okay, make sure. Okay. By the way, we are live streaming this on YouTube for those of you, because I know some of you are gonna ask if this is recorded. It is being recorded. Okay, let me go again to the slide. All right. Now, you're just 2 people away of great success. 2 people can make a huge change. Very simple. 2 people. But they are not in 99.9% of the cases, it's not gonna be the first 2 people that you connect to or you sponsor. You may have to go through a lot of people before you find those 2 people. It happened to me in my first network marketing. I was going through a lot of people. And the first year for me was an epic failure until people start popping up. I sponsored a person that eventually became my leader, but at first he didn't know anything what he was doing. He didn't start popping up until close to a year after I started. And that's the very important thing to keep in mind. It's like when you are playing cards. You're playing cards, but in every deck of cards, there are 4 aces. You know that they're there. And if you keep picking up cards, eventually you're going to get it. But also, you're going to get 2 jokers. People are going to say to you, ha, are you never going to do that? Come on, you never done anything, or those things don't work, or that's a pyramid. They're still in the deck of cards. That's why always we have to make sure that we keep going and going on the first deck of cards, and then to a second deck of cards, until we start getting those people. And you are working together with a team. And that's something that we love, working with a team. Even though we were tired at 2 o'clock in the morning, still we were super excited. And Adrianne is on the phone right now with 2 people, and 2 of people of the team. And that's an example. We always love to do that because it's like a game. Now, the more people you connect, the more the chances that you're going to find that. Now, right now here, thanks to the power of 3, we just had one more thing. There's a power of 3. And I showed the slide yesterday. I love it because we always talk about the example of the power of 2. You bring 2, and then those 2 bring 2, and that's 4, and those 4, 2, 8, etc. I'm putting as an example here, at the end of 7 months, you have about 254 people. That's about 17 cycles. You're making 765. And that's cool. I mean, that's really cool. Now, what if we add one more? And I did this on Saturday, but I'm going to keep doing it until it's so ingrained in your brain that you do it automatic. You see, 3. By the 5th month, excuse me. Oh, if it's weekly, it's better. By the 1st, already you have about the same people that you have at the end of 7. You say, well, that's not much different, but look what happened. At the end of 7 months, it's 3,279 people. That is way more. That's equivalent to 218 cycles and over $10,000. I'm going to round it up. 9,800. You see the difference? 3,279 to compare with 254. And the different income, it's more than 10 times more. And I dropped all this. I hope it's politically correct. Even a caveman can do it. I hope a caveman is not going to get upset with me. Is that simple? We don't have to learn all the in and outs of the pay plan. We make sure we're connecting with people. The cool thing is because we just built 2 legs. There are 3 people that we have there, or there are going to be 2 in one leg and 1 in another. Or if you're already building, you have a power leg, you are putting all of them in the same leg. But the thing is that the fact is that it's very simple. We don't have those plans that you have to go wide, having 10 directors, 10 executives, 10 whatever they call, depend on the name of the company. You are just building 2 legs. That's it. Some people say I have to know the pay plan by heart. Yes, put 1 on the left, 1 on the right, 1 on the left, 1 on the right. Let's suppose that the right becomes so strong. Then where are you going to have the people? Now on the left, on the left, on the left until match, and then the right. You don't have to know the pay plan. You are going to get paid every week. And when you are selling, you are getting paid every day. And when your people start making money, guess what? Suddenly, when you get your check, whoa, I make a leadership matching bonus. What is that? Somebody that you sponsor make money and you are getting up to 30%. You don't, like I said, you don't have to know the pay plan. It's going to happen automatic. And that's one of the things that I love, I love about this pay plan, that is really goes with the behaviors. And then eventually, you're going to have a team. You're going to have the board of directors that we talk a lot about, the board of directors. Those are your partners, the people that want to build your business with you. That is the team, again, the board of directors. And let me show you the board of directors here. Ta-da! Now, this is a secret that was taught to me by, to us, when we were a group, by Bob Proctor, for those of you that knew who Bob Proctor was. Most people don't know, but he was involved in network marketing indirectly. His wife was one of the top distributors in a company called Nikkei, for those of you that remember the magnets. And he said, make a list of 7 to 10, make 7 to 10 squares or boxes. And then inside those boxes, on each of them, put the quality or characteristic of the person that you want to attract for your team, your board of directors. As you see in here, this one, coachable, people person, et cetera, and another one, resilient, self-motivated. All of them are positive stuff. And then he says, something cool is going to happen. Some of those characteristics that you may not have, because you every day are looking at these characteristics of the team leaders that you're going to find, you start developing many of those characteristics also. And you start attracting people that have those characteristics. No whiners, no people that they are treating the business as a lottery, where they think, okay, if I get in, it's only 2 legs. Oh, let's see if those two people come in and I become millionaire. That's the lottery mentality. We are talking about the business mentality here, that you are going to find that people. And the way to find that people is to becoming the person that you want to bring. But again, you have those 10 boxes, and then those 10 boxes, every time you sponsor somebody, underneath that box, you put a name. I found my first one and the second one. Now, do you need, here we have at least 10. Do you need 10 in order to become really successful? As soon as you have one in each leg that are going crazy, and many times it's not even sponsored by you, then you can become incredibly successful. You can create an incredible income. By the way, do you see what I said? If you have 10 qualified 3-star elite, one on each of your board of director legs, you may become a 6 or even a 7-star. You can become a 7-figure earner. How does that sound to you guys? Now, something else very important. I'm going to jump one here. There are people that are, they don't like to have forms. They say, okay, I don't want to have a form. I hate forms. But let me tell you, do you know any business, any kind of business that doesn't keep track of what is going on? We are in a business. Now, our paperwork is much simpler than a traditional business. And the first one is our Project 100. And this is, by the way, you many times you have to print out many of these because always you are adding new people. You're going to have more than 100 people. But let's start with 100. And here on the right side, you see the memory jogger. And you say, what is this? This is in our legacymakers.com. When you click on forms, you're going to find this form. This is important to have a form to see what you are doing. And we have 4 different forms for action, but I'm going to show you 2. The next one is this one. You're going to write the names of the people that you're going to connect this week or this month or every 15 days. You write the name of 30 people. And the idea is to find 15 that they are going to look at the information and sign up 5. Even if you do this once a month, imagine how your business can increase. You can print several of these. Many times you need more people, especially depending on who you are connecting with, in order to get those 15 looking at the presentation. But a rule of thumb, there for every 3, 1 is going to sign up after they look at the presentation. I'm not talking about people that you connect. Very important to have a form. And why I'm saying this? Because when I receive a call, and I have done it actually, I actually make some calls, And one person, specific person, was saying, "Oh, but the business is not working for me." And I say, "Okay, do you have the form?" And then she said, "What form?" "Well, I would like to see how many people you connect with and to see where we can improve." I heard crickets. I heard crickets. It's why it's so important when you have somebody in your team and say, "Oh, I'm not sure if it's working for me. I talked to everybody." Okay, let's go through your forms to make sure how, and then to find out how you are connecting with people, how we can readjust the numbers. And I promise you that most people, I don't want to say everybody because always there is an exception, but 99% of the people are going to say, "I don't have a form." Or what form? What are you talking about? And I'm saying it to you guys because this is also accountability with us. 90 days to convention. Remember, we're accountable to us right now. Now, okay, let me get out here. Okay, and it's why it's so important that we make sure that we are doing the activities that we have. Last week we talked about the app. We talk about getting a connection with people. There are many ways to connect with people. You can connect. First of all, you make your list. People that say, "I don't know anybody." I always ask, "Gosh, if you die tomorrow, who's coming to your funeral?" Come on, start writing those names. And it's funny because when people say, "I don't know anybody," I say, "Whoa," unless you were, I don't know, like those stories that you see that happen in India or something like that, that some kid was raised by a wolf or something like that, maybe I will believe it because the wolf, I'm not going to sign up. But this is so important. And the names are the people that you know. You can go, for example, to a show too, and you can pick up cards. Some of the people I sponsored when I started, because I didn't know as many people, realistic, I did it because I came from another country and my circle of influence was not really big. And then I was getting cards, I was getting referrals, and we didn't have social media at the time. Today with social media, whoa, I don't want to say it's a piece of cake, but you can connect with so many people, and we have presentations on social media in the last 3 weeks that you can go through those that are recorded, but very simple. The idea is just to connect with people. Now, an example, sign up somebody today, and you ask the person, "Are you in social media?" If the person happened to be, for example, I don't know, on Facebook, okay, how many friends do you have? Well, not all of them are friends, but let's connect with them. The people that you don't know who they are, I say, "Hey, we've been connected. I don't know really. I would love to connect with you. I would like to tell me more about you." You start a conversation. You're not going to say, "Hey, do you want to be a distributor?" It's like doing that in the street. Imagine that you go to a coffee place, that was the old way, and you sit down with somebody, and instead of getting to know the person, you start saying, "Oh, by the way, I'm here. I would like to sign you up." They're going to kick you out. You have to create a relationship, and this is exactly social media. It's why it's called social media. You are creating a relationship there, and that's the way that we are getting more names. In a show, you don't have to have a table. You can have a table and can be very successful, but you have to make sure, understand something. Most of the people that are entrepreneurs are not the people that visit the shows, unless it's a business show, are the people that have the tables. Think about that. You just pick up the cards. You don't talk about the business right away with them. I just say, just pick up the cards and then call. I made you, and I'm going to put an example, that a real life example. I made you in the What Women Want event in St. George. This was years ago. I would like to connect with you. People like you are very successful in my business. Guess what the other person is going to ask? What is your business? Let's meet. I would love to meet for a cup of coffee or for a cup of hot chocolate or whatever. Or if you can say, I'm going to send you some information. But it's very simple to connect, to get names. I was taking pictures of the bulletin boards in the supermarkets and laundromats, etc., because there are a lot of cards there, people offering their business. Every kind, real estate, and loan services, and dog sitting, etc., etc. Those are people that are looking to make extra money. You call them and say, I'm calling you to totally, by the way, that's what I did. Calling you totally off the wall. Doesn't have to do anything with dog sitting. If you're that open business in this area and looking for people that want to make extra money and create an income from home. As simple as that. Most people say yes, they want the information. Not necessarily, even that these are business people. But what I mean is that we never run out of people. You can find in Facebook and your school where you went in high school or college. And even if they didn't go at the same time that you did, we have also the books, by the way, school books, etc. You can buy those. Schoolmates, I think it's called the company that sell it. Or sell the access of the high schools, and I think college too. Even if they didn't go at the same year, he said, we went to that school, although I was a year behind you or a year ahead of you, etc. Would love to connect with you. I'm looking for people that want to partner with me. We starting a business and I'm looking for people like you that went to my school. What is the business? Many people are going to say, no, go to another planet. Get away on my face. But there's some of them say, gosh, the same school and you. Yes, these are people that have something in common. They may not be warm marketing. They didn't go to school at the same time than you, but they went to the same school. How many times if you have a college, for example, Texas Tech is, let's have an example, or because I've seen it, or people goes and then they find somebody that went to Texas Tech too. Holy cow, they get excited. Even if the other person went 10 years earlier. There are similarities. And you say, well, you know what? I love to connect with people Texas Tech. Let me tell you what I found out. I would like to share with you. Professions, Mark Janelle, who is one of my heroes. Many of his leaders came from people that were skydiving. He was a skydiver. And he found a book where he has a lot of members, thousands of members around the nation, of skydiving. I don't know if it was a book or a magazine. And he was calling them. As a fellow skydiving, I'm sharing with you because I know skydivers, they have a special personality that they look rich, but at the same calculated risk, because it's calculated. Of course, it's not like they jump off a plane without reviewing any of the equipment. No? And I would love to connect with you. And he signed up a lot of skydivers. Could be a nurse. I'm a nurse. You are too. Oh, I was a teacher, like Christine. I was a teacher. And look where I am now. Can you imagine how many people she inspired that were teachers? Or because they, whoa, can I do more, make more than this? A lot of people. It's so important because you always find that connection. And if it's somebody, for example, you say the guy is from South America, for example, speaks Spanish, say, you know what? I would love to talk to you. There's a guy from South America, and I barely can understand him, and he has been so successful in the business. I want you to connect with that person. And say for what? Well, he's helping people like me and other people to create a business that we can work from home. Now, if the person say, no, I'm not going to do it, I hate it, etc., don't force anybody. But what I mean is to say that we don't have ways to connect with people. And in social media, it's very easy because you can find groups that have the same. For example, you are a fanatic of the New York Yankees or the Red Sox. You can get into a group of the New York Yankees and Red Sox and Facebook or on LinkedIn or etc. Or business, women in business, working from home. You go and find a book. Find any of those groups on Facebook or LinkedIn. There are tons of those. Tons. It's not only one or two. In person, the same thing. In a coffee shop, the same thing. We had the people, and I am going so strong on this because we had 90 days to convention, and I know many of you have a bunch of points on one side waiting for you. They are not going to cash by themselves after a promotion, the power. And if you don't have those points, still, you have opportunity. You have those coins to pick up, like we say on the presentation of the pay plan. Just by getting the 3 and getting the 3 and the power of 3, you go faster, and then you are getting paid. It's so powerful. Anybody wants to add something before we go? Because I just wanted to bring that because I'm super excited. This week was amazing. The week before was amazing. But anyway, you going to say something, Christine?
Oh, I just think you had A+ training, everything they needed to hear. I was talking about great minds must think alike. I was talking about deck of cards in my last call.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was just like perfect. And I talked about the core three, that we wanted everybody to be on stage at convention. You know, core three, 3-star, 3-star pro, 3 elite, 4-star. Everybody needs to be on that stage for something. You're representing all of us, our whole area. We want to see the George and Adrianne's movement. And we're all part of that. And we can just show that we can do it. So everybody is part of the greater whole. But it's just connecting with people, like George said. It's so easy. I love it. It's just the common interest. But look at the power of numbers with those three. And it just starts slowly, and then all of a sudden it goes. But the consistency is the key to success. It was great training, George. I want those slides. It was great.
Oh, thank you very much.
George?
And George, you love the matching checks. Now, do you have any idea what your matching check will be on mine from last?
I know. Interesting. The matching check, the week was so good that the matching checks, you have by the way, Christine became a 4-star the week before, and this week was better than the week before. That's amazing. Matching checks are amazing because they are already in the 6-figure. In other words, if I didn't have cycles at all, at the end of the year, I have a multi-6-figure income just on matching checks. But it's to show you the power of the matching bonuses. And but that's the cool thing. Somebody maxed out last night. That's $27,000 a week here in the US.
Who was that? Do you know?
I cannot say until the names are approved, confirmed for the company, because she knew she was going to have a great week. What she didn't know is that 2 of the people came at the same time, 4 stars, and that pushed her to max out.
Oh, I think I know that. Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah. By the way, that's $27,000 in a week, on top of the matching bonus, etc. I'm not surprised he's close to 40,000 in this week that just passed. But anyway, but again, it showed the potential of what we can do, and we are in a new company. For those of you that were in the company we were before for 15 years, the first person to get that kind of income took about 2 years. One person. Here we have already several. To 2 years before that happened. And was like that for long before the second person had it. I think another 2 years before a second person, maybe a year before the second person got it. And then a year later, 2 years later, 4 people got it, including myself. But it took 2 years for the first person to do it. Here we have already 4 people, maybe 5, maybe 6, because I'm not sure about some of the checks in Asia. But anyway, but again, action, what you say, Christine, action. That's it, action. Connect with people, action.
So George, this is Dr. Bob Green. I'm not in your group, but we're all one big happy family.
I agree.
And this is so much fun. I wanted to just repeat what I just said on Christine's call. I do a Zoom call on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific time, and I'd like to invite all of your participants to join if you so care. It's going to be an hour, and it's going to be a deep dive into the medical aspects of the products and the business, and some really exciting things that are happening in the field of medicine related to our products. And if you are so inclined to get on my Zoom, you just go to Zoom, put join meeting, and put in my cell phone, which is 914-714-8914. 914-714-8914. And that is to join the personal meeting ID and also the passcode. Same number, 914-714-8914. It runs about an hour, and the responses I've gotten from people are very good. And I'm pleased to do it for everybody because we are all one happy family.
I agree 100%. I just post the number. The 7 o'clock. What's
it's 8 o'clock Pacific time.
Oh, 8
It runs
Pacific. Yeah. Okay.
8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific time.
Okay. 8 Pacific. All right. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. Anybody wants to ask